Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about my personal favorite company to invest in, and that is Apple. Big shocker there. It's an amazing company. It's the most high valued company as of today, and I'm going to be talking about why I believe Apple will be the first company to reach $1 trillion. Just think about that number for 1 second. $1 trillion. $1 trillion. That is 1,000 billions. And 1 billion is 1,000 millions. Unbelievable number. Like, that is just a mountain of money. An unbelievable mountain of money. That could probably fill my whole house with $100 bills. And then some. My backyard, my garage, probably my whole street, my neighbors' houses. It probably do everything. That's how much money that is. Quick fact, if you spent $1 million from the beginning of, the calendar year. So, day one of year one. If you spent $1 million per day, every single day, through all those years, all the way up until right now in 2018, you still would not have spent $1 trillion. Like, you would have spent about 3/4 of that. That's how much money $1 trillion is. That is a lot of damn money. Now, let's state some facts on Apple. Apple is currently valued at about $915 billion. Their stock price moves every second, so it's hard to come up with a complete valuation, but as of right now, it's $915 billion. Their stock is down a bit today, so it was around 25, so they almost lost like $10 billion, I think, just today, something like that. I didn't do the math, so I'm just ballparking that one. But it changes every day. I remember last week they were above 930. Now they're at 915. So they have about $85 billion to go. And that's no small number, $85 billion. McDonald's is valued around $100 billion. So they need to add about a McDonald's to their corporation. That's how big Apple is. So just let that even sink in for a second. Next, their PE is currently sitting at about 18. I think it's like a 17.97. We'll call it 18. I like to round. So 18 is what their PE is. Pretty good. Pretty good for a tech company, really. It's not the greatest PE, but it's a pretty darn good PE for the industry they're in. It's an amazing PE for the industry they're in. Okay, now let's do some other facts. And some of these are friggin' mind-blowing, so stick with it. Their revenue was $61.1 billion for the last quarter. $61.1 billion. Almost in their revenue, they could get to $1 trillion. If they spent no money and hoarded their money, they would almost get to $1 trillion and their stock price went up. It would help. That's how much money they made. That is up 16% from the year before. That's a pretty good growth number for a company of this size. Next, they have an earnings per share of $2.73, which is up 30% from the year before. That's really good. They did a 1/3 gain. That's pretty damn high on a company like this and how many shares they have. Yes, they're doing a lot of share buybacks and stuff like that, so that definitely helps, and their stock has gone up quite a bit, so that helps too. Next, they had the best March quarter ever. So they're still doing good. They continually grow, and this March quarter was their best quarter for March. So they're just, across the board, they're just doing pretty darn good. Next, Apple holds the record for most profitable quarter ever for all companies. Yikes, all companies. Like every single company you can think of, Apple holds the record for most profitable quarter. And guess who's the previous record holder before them? Apple. They broke their own record. Jesus Christ. And that was $20.1 billion in profit. Like after they spent all their money, paid their employees, gave all dividends, did all that fun stuff, they still had $20 billion left over of profit in 3 months. Damn, that's pretty damn good. That's a fifth of McDonald's in profit in 3 months. That's pretty damn high. Next, Apple sells on average 400 iPhones per minute. Per minute. This video's been on for like 5 minutes. That means they would have sold 2,000 iPhones in this time. 2,000. That is crazy. In 5 minutes. That's a lot. So if you break that down even further, they sell on average 6.666667. Yeah, I know, I went crazy there. iPhones per second. Per second. So the time I said that, they already just sold like 30 plus iPhones. That's a lot of iPhones. Next, Apple Music. Yeah, Apple has music. I don't know if you know about this. You should know about this because they just passed 50 million subscribers. 50 million. Jesus, 50 million subscribers. That's a lot. Like, I would be worried if I was Spotify. Pandora's already like, they're on their way out. They missed. They were hot. Now they're not. So Apple Music is where it's at, and they've been growing exponentially. They've been growing so quickly. I don't have the numbers. I didn't pull them up, but they are growing ridiculously quick. Ridiculously quick. So 50 million subscribers, pretty darn good. Personal opinion here, I think they'll double that within 1 to 2 years. I think they will do it within that time frame. I'd say definitely less than 2 years. I'm just saying that to cover my ass here. But I think they're going to do it in less than 2 years. Next, the App Store made $300 million on New Year's Day of 2018. $300 million. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Sometimes I just think about Apple and I'm like, how do they make so much money? It's almost mind-boggling how much money they make. $300 million on one day alone. That's pretty damn high. And for that Christmas to New Year's weekend, week, they made $890 million. Almost $1 billion in a week off of services. Damn. And another fact, Apple Store on average makes around $100 million per day. $100 million per day. So every single day, just people logging on, buying games, buying movies, renting, all this other stuff, music. They make $100 million per day just off of that. Plus they got iPhone sales. Plus they got iPad sales. Plus they got their MacBook. Plus they got their Apple Watch. Plus they got headphones. They got the AirPods. They got so many products. They got the Apple TV. They got the Apple Music. And their services has just been growing so quickly. I think their services will, in the next few years, be their highest source of revenue. Think about it. The more people who have your product spend money using your product. If you have an iPhone, you go on the App Store, you buy something, well, you're contributing to that. You're not buying off of Android's software, you're buying off of Apple software. So that's how they make money. If your phone, messes up or something, you need to bring it in for servicing, they make money off of that. This is just all ways Apple makes money off of servicing. Apple Music, that's a service that Apple offers that they make money off of. And we know Apple is starting to somewhat develop content, as in movies, TV shows, and whatnot. They have the money for it. You know how many companies wish they could have the money that Apple has? You know how much Netflix dreams of having the money Apple has for the content that they could produce? Apple could get the biggest A+ name actors, actresses, and put them in these high budget movies and TV shows. They could do whatever they want. They could even take a loss on some of this stuff just to bring people over to their products. Like, that's the type of money Apple has behind them. So, all in all, that's my reasons Apple will will become the first trillion-dollar company. I'm going to give you a quick tidbit. The only companies I see as a contender other than Apple, there's 3 of them in my opinion. The first one is Amazon. Amazon's a monster. It's been growing crazy. Everyone seems to love Amazon. It's like a baby golden child of a stock market that everyone talks good about. So Amazon definitely has a possibility. The second one is Google. Google also has a pretty good possibility of becoming the first trillion-dollar company. It's definitely nowhere as high as Apple or Amazon. I would say percent-wise, if I had to put in a percentage, Apple has got like a 75% chance of becoming the first trillion-dollar company. I would give Amazon probably a good 15%, and I would give Google maybe like a 5-6%, and then the other one, it's a pretty big dark horse, but Facebook. They're growing really good. They had their whole scandal with Cambridge Analytica. They're kind of bouncing back from that. I mean, they are bouncing back from that pretty damn well. They're almost at their highs. So those are the only companies I could see maybe dethroning Apple. I don't see any other companies coming close to a $1 trillion mark anytime soon. Those are the only companies I think could kind of come close. But with like a 75% chance, like I said, it's going to be Apple. Apple will become the first $1 trillion company. Mark my words, and if I'm right, please do subscribe to my channel. Click a like on this video if you liked it. Comment. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. Maybe you agree. Maybe you don't. Anyways, until next time, stay tuned and see you later.